From ignoring people in public to devoting themselves to their hobbies, high-value men do certain things that appear extraordinarily weird to ordinary people. These men are often misunderstood, mischaracterized, and misjudged due to how they operate. But that's what makes them deal setters. They were not born great. They spent ages honing their skills, building their confidence, and finding their strength. So if you find yourself doing the following 10 things, you've unlocked the achievement of being a high-value man. Number 10. Ignoring acquaintances in public. Do you get that familiar feeling when you spot someone you know in a public place and they act like Captain Invisible? It's a head-scratcher, right? But hold on. Before we judge them as rude or dismissive, there's more to this than meets the eye. High-value men are a whole different breed. They value quality over anything in every aspect of their life. So when they see someone they recognize in public, their mind is already assessing quickly. Will this encounter lead to small talk city? If the answer is a resounding yes, you might find them avoiding eye contact like a pro. Now, it's not that they're trying to be mean or snobbish. No, they simply don't want to waste their precious time and energy on superficial chit-chat. Efficiency is the name of the game. Don't take it personally when you see a high-value man pretending not to see an acquaintance. It's not an insult to them. It's all about self-preservation. Number 9. Extensive planning. You know how we all like to prepare for what the future might throw our way? Well, high-value men take it up a notch. Think of it like Sherlock's infamous Mind Palace. The minds of high-value men have every possible scenario playing out in their heads all at once. And this is not just limited to some big important tasks. These men plan out their daily tasks to the last detail. In the mood for a coffee? Think, analyze, strategize. They've got a 24/7 mental projection of what could happen next. Unsurprisingly, they can overanalyze things sometimes, as their brains get into overdrive. But this is more than just your average guy overthinking his every move. High-value men have a library full of contingency plans. You won't ever catch them off guard. This is where they derive their control and confidence from. It's hard to have an edge over someone who has an infinite number of backup plans running through their head at once. No wonder these men are consistently successful at what they do. Number 8. Lost in thoughts. As Greek historian Plutarch puts it, the mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. High-value men kindle their fire by getting lost in the labyrinth of their thoughts. You would often find them processing events with a level of depth that would make even the profoundest of philosophers envious. This is where they get mislabeled as cold or distant. However, the fact of the matter is that these men are adventure seekers. They have an active imagination that constantly churns out insights that change the world. While they might appear quiet and thoughtful, their mental engines run at warp speed. Spoiler alert, you should prepare to be dazzled when you find yourself in their company. Number 7. Disappearing act. High-value men are no magicians, but if there's one thing they know how to pull off, it's Houdini's disappearing act. Imagine this. You're in a captivating conversation with a high-value man. In your mind, the conversation is going great and everyone's having a good time. But then suddenly, he disappears, only to reappear later on as if nothing happened. Odd, right? You'd probably think, what a weirdo. But the joke's on you, because if you know a high-value man, you know that chaos and noise are their kryptonite. They don't force themselves to endure boring situations. So suppose a situation or conversation gets too meaningless for them. In that case, they'll excuse themselves to restore their sanity. But don't you dare expect them to explain their vanishing act. It's all part of their mysterious charm, and they don't feel the need to justify their actions to anyone. It's not about disrespect or ill intent. It's about searching for meaningful things in this all glitter and no gold world. Number 6. Refusing to ask for assistance. Asking high-value men to give up control is like asking Jack Sparrow to abandon Black Pearl. It's just not possible. Part of constantly wanting to control everything is refusing to ask for help. These men hold off asking for assistance until it's the only way out. They have this belief that they have the magic touch. Leave it to them to tackle any challenge head-on and have better control over the outcome. But here's the thing. Being the master of your destiny is a double-edged sword. When you refuse to ask for help, you might miss out on the signs that you're in over your head. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a testament to your strength and awareness. And let us tell you, having that extra pair of hands and an outside perspective can work wonders. Remember, you're not a lone wolf wandering in the wilderness. If you do things right, you know you have a tribe out there, ready to lend a helping hand when the going gets tough. Number 5. Nonconformity. The opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice, it's conformity. And that's one thing you will never find a high-value man doing. Growing up, we have all heard this phrase too much. I just don't fit in. Society teaches us that to succeed, we need to fit in and blend in everywhere we go, be it school, college, or work. The consequences of believing in this idea is simple. You depend on constant validation from others. You have no originality of your own, and you live in the unbearable shackles of having the need to impress others. That's where high-value men come in. Their determination to stand out as a shooting star on a starry black night prevents others from putting them into neatly labeled boxes. Yes, it attracts unwanted attention, but do they care? Not one bit. They just don't waste their energy on pleasing everyone for the sake of it. They find their own peace and satisfaction in life. And isn't that what true happiness is all about? Number 4. Unconventional attitude. Before you think high-value men are just rebels without a cause, let us set the record straight. These guys are all about constructive disruption. They're not here to be contrary for the sake of it. There's a deeper purpose to everything they do. They believe in questioning the norm, challenging things, and seeking better solutions. Why are we doing it this way? Is there a better way to do this? These are the kinds of questions that roll off their tongues. And believe it or not, it sparks curiosity in the minds of everyone they meet. It makes people think outside the box and find new solutions to age-old problems. While some people might prefer to go with the flow and play it safe, high-value men see no point in doing that. They'd much rather shake things up, challenge the status quo, and create ripples of change. Go big or go home. Number 3. Devoted hobbies. Hobbies are not just leisure activities. They're fuel for the soul. You don't have to tell a high-value man, because he lives by this statement. When high-value men find something that lights their fire, they become fully devoted. Whether painting masterpieces or diving into the depths of programming, these men are all about having that single-minded focus. And you know what's the most intriguing part? High-value men's dedication to their passion project knows no bounds. They would split the sea, burn the midnight oil, and move mountains in pursuit of perfection, and they will feel energized by it. For these men, hobbies and passion projects are their chance to express themselves, test their mettle, and feel that sweet sense of accomplishment like no other. After all, you can't be a high-value man if you do something half-heartedly. Number 2. Fly solo. Here's a hypothetical scenario for you. You walk into a restaurant with a group of friends. You see everyone dining with their partners, work colleagues, or friends. Amidst all this, you see a guy eating alone. What's your first perception of him? You'd probably feel sorry that he has no one to eat lunch with. That's where you're wrong. Instead of feeling sorry, you should feel inspired by his ability to enjoy his company. Thanks to social media, most people are so overstimulated that the idea of being alone with their thoughts, even for a minute, sends shivers down their spines. But not for high-value men. These men are lone wolves who actively choose to do things solo because it gives them this sense of control and freedom. They don't care what others might think of them because nothing is an obstacle when you're living life at your pace. And when you're comfortable being alone, you automatically attract fulfilling relationships. Number 1. They feel like they're the only ones who understand. High-value men are the Neo of the Matrix. In the real world, they often feel isolated because it's hard for them to find like-minded individuals who vibe with their way of thinking. Living in a world that operates on mass consumerism is challenging for someone who constantly forges new paths and thinks out of the box. Everyone is just a carbon copy of each other. But here's the thing. Being a rare personality type does not mean you're an alien on this planet. Sure, it's a bit lonely sometimes, but it's also a sign that you possess a different, fresh perspective. High-value men find solace in their own thoughts because they know their judgment is flawless. Their unique way of thinking is what makes them high value. If you feel like a newbie in a foreign country, take it as a sign. You belong to the elite class of men. Want to know more about high-value men? Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.